Our Palm Passion reading for April the 10th, 2022. Our triumphal entry comes from Luke this year, Luke chapter 19. While Jesus sending off the disciples to go get the donkey, the young colt, are fairly similar in all of the Gospels. The triumphal entry itself, when Jesus comes into town, what they proclaim and the reaction of the Pharisees and how Jesus responds are a little different in Luke. So I'd like to focus on Luke chapter 19, specifically 38 through 40. Now, where we're used to the people shouting, "Hosanna, Hosanna," blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed is the Son of David. Hosanna, Son of David. Luke doesn't use any of those, but says, blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord, Adonai. Now, who is this King? This King is the bringer of peace, the anointed one of God to bring peace to the people. And so then the other thing they say is peace in heaven and glory in the highest heaven. This is revolutionary talk. It's not some reference to some son of David, a possible inheritor of the kingdom. It's not blessed is the one, blessed is the anointed, which takes on a spiritual context of John. But rather in Luke, it's very specific. Blessed is the King. This makes the Pharisees very uncomfortable. The last thing they want is Roman interference during this holy time of Passover. Because there are so many people that gather around in Jerusalem at the time of the Holy Week, of their Passover week. Pilate and a cohort of Roman soldiers will garrison in town to make sure everything goes smoothly. So Rome has its eyes firmly turned on Jerusalem, and here are people saying, blessed is the King and this kingship. For Luke, this theme will then enter into the trial of Jesus and will play an important part. And I'll get to that in the next section. So the Pharisees say, tell them to be quiet. Tell them to be silent. And then Jesus does something that goes beyond an indication that he is an earthly king. But rather, all of the Psalms, in one way or another, proclaim that all of creation worships the majesty of God. The firmaments in heaven proclaim God's majesty. Paul at the beginning of Romans will say, even those who do not have the book, who do not have the specific revelation of God in the books of Moses and in our story, even they know there's a God because all of creation proclaims that there is a God and a creator. So all of creation proclaims God and God's majesty and God's glory and God's kingship and rulership over the world. So Jesus says, even if you tell these people to be quiet, the stones will cry out in recognition that their king has come. This is an indication of the Trinity, of Jesus' kingship that is not only kingship on earth, but a kingship in heaven. That indication of the stones crying out is an important inclusion in Luke.